happy readers. We return with another week of Linger Read Along. This video series is in collaboration with Behind Yellow Eyes. You should definitely check them out. They have a lot of, I guess not new news about the movie, but Entertainment Weekly did a little article about the Shiver movie that is in the works. If I'm remembering correctly, there is a script that's been written and there's a director, and I'm not sure about everything else if they've done any casting yet, but definitely check out Behind Yellow Eyes and keep track of all that and news about anything that is related to the Shiver series or Maggie Stiefvater. They've got everything. Also, they post these videos every week on there, and so definitely comment on those, and you know, they give away stuff every once in a while, and so check that out. So let's get on with this thing. In chapter 37, Sam just can't let silence be silence. The dude has a serious infatuation with Cole. Fangirl. I feel like Grace always relates to other people and understands them because she is a loner and outsider, kind of looking in on people and always observing. I feel like I was her in high school. She doesn't adhere to labels or try to fit in somebody else's mold. She's just Grace. For a second in this chapter, I was wondering, when did a windshield explode? Mainly because Maggie Stiefvater gives you just enough to like give you that flashback, but if you didn't read the first book or you didn't pay good enough attention like I did, you might be like, what windshield? Chapter 38. Dear Sam, if you want to talk to Cole, please just go ahead and talk to him. It's kind of odd that they've gotten into each other's faces so many times, but Sam can't open his mouth and, you know, say what he wants to say. And especially so when he's angry. I love Grace. In this set of chapters, I was definitely like fangirling, not fangirling Grace, but just very admiring her for being so just like, she was not necessarily a cool mom, but she was just like that, like open, accepting of, you know, her boyfriend's friends and that kind of thing. She's very open and innocent, but not in like a Bambi kind of way, not in like, oh my gosh, she's gonna get hurt. She trusts everybody. She doesn't jump to conclusions based on somebody else's judgments. She's definitely that friend who inspires you to be a better person, not like forcing you to be better because she's a good person, but just being like, hey, I'm an open, accepting person, and I know that you're going through some things, and so I'm here for you, bro. And Cole, in this chapter, I don't know if it was 2 chapters ago or if it was like this chapter, but I feel like he's kind of being like, okay, I might have some insecurities, I might have some problems, but I'm gonna be okay. I couldn't stop myself from exploding, but I could at least learn to contain the blowout. I know in chapter 37 and 38, and probably a lot of more chapters before then, they keep questioning, why did Beck change Cole? Why? What did he see in him? You know, all that kind of stuff. It's just getting a little annoying. I feel so bad for Grace just because she's toying with the idea, you know, oh, it'd be nice to be a wolf, all that kind of stuff, and then it kind of strikes her that, you know, it could happen, very well happen. Even though she's still like sort of in denial in this chapter, she's still like, but at the same time she's like, this could really happen. But entertaining an idea and actually being fact, she sees that being like a whole different story. Cole just earned some major bro points for merely just you know, offering to drive Grace's car. I feel like that was almost the key to Sam accepting him as just being like, hey, you know, I know I've been questioning this, but for real, you're legit and too legit to quit, or whatever you want to say about Sam accepting Cole. Just, it's nice to see him come around and be like, okay, just because I thought you were a bad guy, that I thought you were this crazy person, it doesn't mean that there wasn't a reason that Beck chose you and saw something in you that had some sort of leadership qualities. Chapter 39. I feel like Grace is such an unrebellious person that when she does come upon a time when she is supposedly rebellious, she's just like, oh, this is exciting. I feel like in this chapter I finally understand where her parents are coming from. I think before in the previous chapters I was just like, oh, you know, they're unexplained, they're just being parents. Parents do crazy things sometimes. But honestly, I think it was that they saw that Sam was more emotionally invested in their daughter's life more than they were at any point of time. And they both feel like they told it as it is and told the truth and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like I'm definitely on Grace's side of the story. I'm just gonna point this out, that when her dad is like, oh, you don't know responsible relationships until you can be responsible, you can't see this boy again. Dear Grace's dad, I have something to tell you. You learn your responsible relationships from your parents. She's lived with her parents for 17 and a half plus years, and she saw how you guys interact, and you know, that's probably not the way that she's going to treat her kids, but she knows that, you know, this is kind of, you know, a baseline of, you know, how you should treat your partner or your husband, wife, whatever. You don't just pick that up from TV shows or your friends. And along those same lines, how is she supposed to show her responsibilities and like show how she's responsible if she can't leave the house, if she can't go out and do things? Some afterthoughts about these chapters. I cannot wait to just finish this book. After I edit this video, I feel like I'm just gonna sit down and finish reading it, because after I got finished with chapter 39, it made me want to just keep reading, because she just like kind of leaves the conversation, and it's not necessarily a cliffhanger, it's just like one of those things that you're like, okay, I need to keep going. And I read chapter like 40 after that, and I was like, okay, gotta finish this book tonight. So that is all. What do you think about these chapters? I definitely think that Cole and Sam are at a good place, and I think their friendship is gonna get better. I'm not sure about Cole and Isabel, but I really think that he is showing his feelings for her. Definitely when he talks about Grace and Sam's relationship, I think that he understands, you know, I like this girl and I want to make an effort, even though it's never going to be as good as Grace and Sam. I probably should have put that in the read-along part, but, you know, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's, you know, I feel like he's getting somewhere with that, and getting somewhere with actual human relationships. So that is that. I hope you have a great week and keep reading Linger.